It's quite common for us to want to be helpful. From a very young age, we're taught that it's a positive trait to have, and it's generally a good thing. For us as adults, when we help young children, there's sort of a sense of caring for them, and we feel of use and that we have a purpose. Let's think for a second of a recent time that you've helped somebody. Why did you help them? How did you help them? And how did the situation generally unfold? Picture this. You're in a classroom and the children are getting ready to wash their hands. They line up as the first child makes their way to the sink and begins the process. They turn on the water, they get some sink, and they start to rub their fingers and their hands all the way around. Their hands are all clean, and so they go to dry their hands. They reach up and try to grab a paper towel. You see them stretch their arms and go on their tippy toes, and they're really trying hard. As you notice this, you say to the child, "Oh, it looks like the paper towel might be a little too high. Would you like some help?" The child says, "Yes, please." And so, you grab the paper towel, you pass it to them, you say, "Here you go." They dry their hands, and they walk off. The next child begins the same process, begins to wash their hands, soap, water, and then goes to dry their hands. Once again, the paper towel dispenser is a little too high, and they're reaching up again, they're reaching up. But then this time, the child says, "Can you help me, please?" And so, you help them grab a paper towel, they dry their hands, and they're on their way. As each child continues to wash their hands, you notice a pattern slowly forming, where the child does the hand washing, and you very naturally grab the paper towel for them to dry their hands. The last child comes up to wash their hands. Water, soap, and rub. But something interesting happens this time. Instead of asking you for a paper towel, or reaching to try to grab one, the child just looks at you and smiles. You look back at the child and you smile as well, and you say, "It looks like you're done. I wonder what's next." The child looks at the paper towel, then looks at you. Let's think for a second of what might be happening as each child observes the interactions of the child before them when they're washing their hands and they're trying to get a paper towel. What are the messages the children are getting about you, them, and the paper towel dispenser? When it comes to young children, it's very common for us to want to help them, whether it be from tying their shoes or just grabbing something off the shelf. That said, the ways we help them can really impact how they interact with the world around them, and also how they are able to help themselves in the future. In moments like this paper towel situation, where technically the children can help themselves grab the paper towel with a little bit of help. That said, if we don't take a step back to think about what that little bit of help really looks like, then we can often turn into the person that's just grabbing the paper towel for the child. This is why scaffolding is very important. Just like the scaffolding on a building, it's there to support the building in the process of it being made, in the process of it being finished. Now, I'm not saying that children are things to be made or to be finished, but as children are learning, constructing their understanding of the world, and testing their abilities, there is a period of time where they need this sort of scaffolding to help them. Going back to this moment, the next day I changed my approach. Instead of pulling down the paper towel all the way down for them, I would pull it down just enough so that they would only need to tiptoe a little higher, and then they would be able to grab it for themselves. Slowly, as I repeated this process, the children were able to tiptoe higher and higher and higher, until a few weeks later, one of the children was able to grab the paper towel on their own. When we create this space for young children, when we scaffold for them these interactions, they are able to test their abilities in a way that doesn't discourage them, nor does it lead them to depend on someone else. Rather, they are able to find balance to seek for help, but then also use their abilities in a way that they know they can. When they do this, children are then able to take their confidence and their understanding of their own bodies and their abilities to then go into the world, to continue to test out their abilities, but then also ask for help when they need to. This then helps them on their journey to continue to watch, think, be.